In today's BTG episode, after an unpleasant encounter with Leslie, Shanice asks Ted what he saw in her, and Leslie spots Vernon sneaking around. Andre confesses to Donnie. Kat gets Haley's help and calls Eva out for sleeping with Tomas at home. Smitty gets between the kids when Samantha freaks out over Tyrell stealing her yogurt. Martin arrives and they gripe to him. He asks if they want to play frisbee. It's cold. They argue. He argues they have coats. Smitty suggests they head to Orphe's for a milkshake. Neither of the kids want to go. Tyrell's got a study date, but Smitty tells him they'll be coming together. Vernon walks into Orphe, jeans, and watches a woman bite June's head off as she messes up an order. June frets to Vernon in detail about the order. Vernon gives her a pep talk, says her smile makes up for a lot. He asks for 2 cobblers to go. She's surprised he's ordering it twice in 1 week, and jokes that he and the missus are developing quite the sweet tooth. Vernon lies that the cobbler is for him. She's got a recipe for Anita that replaces the sugar with honey. Get updates on the latest posts and more from soapspoilers.com, straight to your inbox. We use your personal data for interest-based advertising, as outlined in our privacy notice. At Uptown, Izaiah tells Eva that he is glad to be working at the college. They talk about how iconic Orphe jeans is and how mouth-watering the food is. Kind of like how I feel right now. They get a table and she tells him how to date. He asks who is on her radar. She likes a direct man and some mystery. She tells him he's no stranger to the gym. Confident. Check, check, he says, checking off the boxers with her. He's fine as hell, she finishes. That makes it the trifecta. He tells her he knows she can have her pick, but thinks he has a chance because he's the only one there. She grins. They flirt more, and she says he has to earn whatever he gets from her. He looks forward to getting to know her and asks permission before kissing her. They make out, and afterward, he thinks he was something special. She laughs. It was 8. She jokes about his ego, and he asks if he brought it for her. She felt it too, she admits. Shanice sings the articulate song while Ted laughs. She admits she's always starstruck by Anita, who was an earlier. Ted seems concerned. He feels like they're still family. She assumes they feel the same. He sighs, and they discuss Carlton. He's barely seen the guy. She wanted to see them throw down. He didn't get to see her as a ring girl. Announcer, he says, correcting himself as they chat. Leslie walks in and doesn't look happy. She cries that it's Peaches and into tears in Ted's arms. She cries and tells him her mother's symptoms. She thinks Peach is going to die. Ted tries to talk her down as Shanice watches. Dr. Wilkes is with her. Leslie remembers Dr. Doug being the best and worries. Shanice assures Leslie that her mother is in excellent hands, but Leslie wants to hear from Ted. He merely agrees and toddles off to check on a patient. Shanice sends an alert to Wilkes to come talk to the family, and Leslie gets in her face. If she wanted her opinion, she'd ask for it. Shanice turns away and Leslie keeps it up. Shanice hopes her mother will be okay. Leslie gets in her face and gets her back up. Shanice tells her there's no reason for that, but Leslie says she's paid this hospital a lot of cash to buy herself some respect. Shancy tells her, no one buys me. Wilkes turns up and Leslie starts in on him. He tells her he's sorry, but he was with another patient. Leslie expects VIP for Peaches. Shanice rolls her eyes. Wilkes tells Leslie her mother's initial diagnosis aside. She presented this morning with an acute exacerbation of congestive heart failure. They're working to mitigate it. He details what they're doing, but it's not good enough for Leslie, who misses Doug McBride. Wilkes tells her to look at his credentials. But when she wants another doctor, he respectfully tells her it's not a shopping mall. But she's welcome to do that. He goes, and Shanice tells Leslie not to lash out at people trying to care for her mother. Leslie tells her she's getting on her nerves, and Shanice tells her she won't stand for her getting on everyone's nerves. Leslie will make her regret those words. Shanice doesn't care. She takes off. Leslie calls to tell Eva about Peaches. Vernon says hello to Jessica on his way out of Orphe's. June tells her Tyrell hasn't been around. She says he's on the way. June offers to lend an ear, but before she can say anything, Tyrell and the rest of the family walk in. He apologizes for meeting there. They head to their own table to work, and the family sits at another. Smitty thinks Tyrell and Jessica are cute. Martin says they're almost as cute as when they fell for another. Samantha goes to June, sullen about being grounded. This too shall pass, June says, wisely. She returns to the table with water, and Smitty goes to put their order in. She knows Sam. Tyrell's order and asks for Smitty and Martin's. He thanks her for saving his family and for giving them this gift. She tells him her debt to him is bone deep. He admits he was afraid the kids would love her more than them when she turned up. June reminds him that blood doesn't make a parent. Love and care do. That won't change. He apologizes for being so wrong. They share a tender moment, and she reassures she'd never overstep from his table. Martin calls his dad about hearing from it. Who is going to talk to Tyrell about Banneker? Vernon's happy but late for the Winterfest sponsors meeting. He disconnects with his Orpheus bag outside Sharon's. Back at their table, Jessica and Tyrell chat. Samantha sits with them and Jess tells her about their run-in with Nathan, about how he was about to score with her. He'd have put it all over social media. Tyrell didn't tell her because he's not worthy. His sis leaves. And Jess says she got into UCLA, her parents' alma mater. He's glad, and they discuss whether or not he should do the same. They wonder if they'll have to break up. Back at their own table, Smitty tells his man about his talk with June. He's going to accept her as their family. Smitty and Martin stop Tyrell and Jess's conversation to tell him they're meeting at home to discuss college. Once they're gone, June gets help from Jessica cleaning up the table. She asks if Jess is going to break her boy's heart. Jessica hopes not. Their dream schools differ. Jess isn't sure what to do. Eva arrives at Leslie's with news about the doctors stabilizing Peaches. Leslie comes up with ideas on getting her mom a robotic heart. Eva asks where to start, and Leslie says there's a heart failure hospital. She's not sure if they should move her yet. They consider bringing the doctor to them. Leslie wants Ted's help, but Eva doesn't think it'll help. He's in plastics. Leslie disagrees. He'll want to help. She wants to hear about her dates, so Eva shares about the smooch. The women giggle. Eva calls it fire, but won't jinx it. Leslie's glad it got Tomas out of her head. Once Eva leaves, Leslie looks out into the hall where she sees Vernon and Sharon. Saying goodbye. She wonders what he's doing with another woman. Back at the hospital, Shanice is upset and tells Ted that lunatic of his almost made her lose what makes her the best nurse in DC. Ted will talk to Leslie. He calls Shanice a force. She asks what he saw in Leslie before he goes to check on Peaches. At home, Smitty and Martin introduced Izaiah and left the room while Tyrell asked what would happen to him and his girl if they went to separate. Schools.iz says endings can always lead to better beginnings. Hooked on Beyond the Gates? Join our official Beyond the Gates Facebook group. Get spoilers, recaps, theories, and fan talk all in one place.